afternoon, welcome to Market Wrap number 187. Stuart Williamson here at the helm in Singapore today, and we're looking at 7 property strategies for 2024 that are a bit different from last year that could help us all make money. Now, if you're looking to get started, there are some ideas to consider, and these are based on our research, what we are experiencing in the marketplaces, what it's telling us is going on. Things are a bit different from last year and the year before. Everyone was very flat. This year it'd be flat or up a little bit depending on where you are. As ever, be on your toes. Don't buy stuff you don't understand. Get a clear plan and stick to it. So let's look at the 7 strategies that we're recommending to our clients this year. The first is to focus on high rental cash flow. As the market isn't growing very much, a high rental cash flow is important. 2024 will see some upside. We need to make money from somewhere. So if you're going to own an investment property and capital appreciation is quite difficult, then finding something that gives you a good rental income is important, because it will put some cash in your pocket at the end of the year, and you'll see how you're starting to erode your debt and things get better. You could say, well, okay, well, I won't buy now, I'll buy in the future. It's never a good time to invest, it's never a bad time. But it might be not a bad idea to think about that and say, I'll put off buying. Because frankly, there are many parts of the country where I don't think property will go up for the next 3 or 4 years. Places where people went to escape COVID, like the South Coast. Places that were already too expensive, like parts of London. I know London will improve, but I'm not sure how much it'll improve buying it, the amount of money you get into there. So just buying with enormous new mortgage rates, just buying a vanilla buy-to-let anywhere in the UK is going to be a tricky ask. So we're looking at Loughborough and the north, because we believe that's where you're going to get the best rental yields and the best capital appreciation. One thing you might consider, and this is our first top tip, is look at add value PDRs in the Midlands and the North. What's a PDR? A permitted development rights building. They can convert it from their previous use as an office or as a commercial premises. It takes a bit of time, so 18 months or so, but at the end you've got a character building that's got some capital appreciation because it has been refurbed. You haven't put the mortgage down for 18 months because that's when the mortgage rates will be lower, and you're going to get something that's not a box. Okay, second idea, increase the rental yield as much as you possibly can. Several ways of doing this. One of the most popular is a HMO, or a house of multiple occupation. This is where you take a house and instead of renting to a family on a one tenancy agreement or to a couple of workers, you rent it out as individual rooms. If you choose the right property, you can convert reception rooms into additional bedrooms, you can add extra bathrooms, and you can generate a lot more rental income per month than you could do rather than renting to a single family home. Of course, in many areas you require a license, and if you have HMO with more than 6 rooms, you may well need planning permission as well. Demand for HMO rooms has gone sky high, to be frank, in most major cities and towns in the UK. Property prices are going up so much in the cities and towns post-COVID. It's been a huge boost for the market as well. Councils were trying to individually ban the rooms as taxed rooms, but this has been disallowed by the government. So basically it's just saying you're going to tax the house. For those who aren't familiar, there's a lot of uncertainty because some councils were trying to individually ban the rooms as a separate tax, and the government stepped in basically and said, this is crazy, we'll just do the whole house as taxable, not individual rooms, which is brilliant. There's plenty of demand. Upmarket HMOs really are doing very well, where you got virtually a single flat, you get like a dry kitchen, you may get some toilet facilities, all those sort of things, and they are selling very well, renting very well, because frankly, if you're getting a 1-bed flat in somewhere like Manchester, you're paying what you were 10 years ago for a 2-bed flat with 2 bedrooms. It's posh end of the market is going very well. We have one client who's in Warwick who rents purely out to Japanese students. They pay very well. Look after the property, return it well. So look at that, HMOs, might be a good idea. Number 3, look at ways of maximising your cash flow. And what I thought of here is short-term rentals. It's not holiday lets. I do holiday lets myself, and they can be quite seasonal and quite erratic. But if you look at short-term lets in the big cities, larger towns, in London, you can't short-term let for more than 90 days. But other cities around the UK don't have that control. And so if you look around, there's a lot going on in Bristol, in Birmingham, in Manchester, really busy places with the levelling up agenda, lots of new businesses going in there, the government sponsoring people to move up there. So they are very vibrant, and it's worthwhile looking at those as short-term lets. So looking at it, how does it work? A single tenancy will give you some cash flow, a HMO gives you a much better tax flow, and then short-term lets will give you even more. The problem you have is it's hard work. And that's what puts a lot of people off. With a HMO, you have to have a manager, and that will eat into your returns. With a short-term let, you need to have a good agency, and they will charge you 20% plus. But if you've got the will and you're willing to do it and the patience, they're a good thing to do. Number 4, social housing and social care. Now, again, it's not an area we've done a lot of, but it's where your tenant is a public body and there's usually some kind of assistance given to the occupants to live their daily lives. We've looked at these at some of our recent seminars as supported living. We also do sheltered accommodation, those sort of things, and the yield on them is 10% plus a CPI inflation increase. It's a specialist area of housing provision, but it can be very profitable. The problem you have is potentially liquidity. Sometimes it's not that liquid. Number 5, I think if we go back to basics, BRRR, buy, renovate, remortgage, rent out. Look at adding value as you go in. There's good money to be made there. We've done quite a lot up in Dundee, where you're buying for £60,000 to £100,000. You're adding another £40,000 into it. I mean, the uplift on the profit isn't where it was because of the cost of all the goods and services. It's gone up so much. But there are good markets out there where you can add that, and then you end up with a 10% rental yield on it. Again, be careful what you're buying. It's not an idiot area. Basically, go out, buy a shabby property, needs a lot of work doing on it. You do it up. If you're overseas, it might be difficult to do that. We have quite a few agencies we work with in the UK who can help you do it, who've done 2,000 houses plus, and that's not a bad thing to do. And they can be trusted, and you can get references from them internationally that they have done good jobs. If you're buying something, buy it soon it's run down. Don't be put off by that. There's no point buying a nearly new property if you're going to put in 6 ensuite bathrooms and or you're going to put in extra 2 bedrooms, that sort of thing. Buy something that's fairly worn out that you can add value to. Number 6 is a new concept, which is the build to rent concept. Higher yields, better quality tenants, a new market sector. It's coming over from the US, and it's been driven by the millennials who can't afford to buy their own, so they're actually renting in the 15-minute city concept. The build to rent model provides an enhanced experience for tenants, including good quality homes aimed at general or targeted demographics, longer term tenancies and predictable rents. Normally the yields you're getting are up at the 7% plus. It normally comes with a full virtually hotel-like environment, and you have big names like St. Regis and so on managing them. So they're very, very posh, and it's a big area where pension funds are putting money into. So to look at build to rent's not a bad idea. According to Savills, current stock is 76,800, another 50,000 houses under construction, and there's another pipeline of 113,000 on top of that. So it's a good market to get into, build to rent. Again, we can help you access that. 7th, very exciting, which I've touched on before, is basically the Chancellor's Autumn Statement in 2023 was the right to take a single family house and convert it into 2 flats without requiring for planning permission. It'll be a permitted development, right? So a bit like a PDR where you convert an office into apartments or houses. This is the same sort of thing. As long as you don't change the front of the building, you can change it into a 2-bed. And the concept is that you do that and we sell it on. And now, because there's been so little building going on, a lot of the builders currently won't have the stock coming to market. It's been tough, they don't have the stock. So if we can go out there and say, look, here's a brand new flat, brand new bathroom, brand new this, brand new that, in a good street, in a good town, then it will get a good market. And there's lots of it out there to go and buy. So just a case of getting out there and looking for it, getting a good builder to convert it. And again, these are the sort of things that we do at APW. It'll help owner occupiers, and it's going to be a year or so away by the time it comes to market, which means interest rates will be falling further. I don't think interest rates are going to fall by 4%, 4 times this coming year. I think the amount of bandwidth that's out there are probably a couple of falls, but it will be down to the low 4s, I think, by the end of the year. And if you're converting something, then new buyers will want to come in on that. Same with PDRs that are finished in 18 months. You're going to have an interest rate that's going to be about 4% then, so you're going to get a profitable buy-to-let. So there we go. That's it for this week. Thanks for listening. A bit different. I thought we'd just share some ideas that we've looked at, and it's stuff we're doing ourselves and we're helping our clients do. If you like, do comment. If you don't like, comment. If you want to put in what your ideas are as far as what you would suggest is a good idea to invest in, then put that in as well. If you'd like to learn more about these sort of things, then please complete the call to arms form below. I hope this new year is going well for you. Take care. All the best, Stuart.